roofing smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered, literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better. Together, TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Still talking about last night? We're already breaking down tomorrow. The Inside Drive. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are tuned in to the Inside Drive, coming to you live from the Gulf Plus studios right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. James Fife filling in for Ryan Mulvey on this Monday. Taking care of the board for me today, we got Randy. And if you want to talk to me, give us a call here at the studios, 850-215-6290. And we got the Facebook stream up and going now. It turns out that I think we might have just had it set to Randy, but now we got it to the ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah, if you missed that segment, you could just...
you can go back and watch it. Yeah, go on over. It is saved on YouTube. You did not miss anything. Go over to YouTube, ESPN Northwest Florida. You can watch all our history of shows. So, you missed the early show with James Hale? Go back and watch it. Hey, easy, great, wonderful. So we are on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, X, and Facebook. I guess Twitter and X are the same place. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that way you know what is going on right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Home Run Derby tonight. All-Star game tomorrow night. Let's discuss the Home Run Derby, shall we?
Oh, don't forget, coming up at 12:20, Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports Cards is going to join us today. So looking forward to that.
All right, Aaron Bearden, we will be talking some sports cards, other sports collectibles, maybe even some Pokemon if anybody out there calls in and has some questions on that, because I don't know a lot about Pokemon, but hey, the floor is yours if you call.
Well, here's the thing. If you've got a question you want to ask Aaron, just text it to us.
Yeah,
and we'll be more than happy to ask him when he comes on.
Yeah, hit it up. Either text us, 850-215-6290, or get on over to Facebook. Leave a comment for us because we'll see it there as well. Home Run Derby coming to you live from Truist Park here in Atlanta, Georgia tonight, the home of the Braves. So the big deal about the Home Run Derby, what happens? Home runs. You got to hit home runs. And Truist Park, a pretty good hitter's park. Not a full-out hitter's park, but a pretty good hitter's park. Let's look at the dimensions of the field that these guys will be batting in. Let's go down the left field line, straight away to the left field pole. It's 335 feet. To left center, 385. To straightaway center field, 400 feet. Right center, 375. And down the pole in right field, 325. Now the fence height changes going around the park. From left field to right field, it goes in an incline kind of up at a stair-step level. If you head out to the very far left end wall right on the pole, you're at 6 feet. It rises up to 9 feet at about left center, going through center field. It is at 9 feet. And if you guys watch the Braves, which I'm sure many, many, many of you do and have been to the park yourself, you know the right field wall is 16 feet tall. So is that going to be an advantage to your right-handed hitters that get to use the shorter wall out in left field? Well, no. After tonight, because hopefully many, many, many home runs are hit, because that's why we tune in. So the participants for this evening, from the Seattle Mariners, the catcher, Cal Raleigh, has 38 home runs so far on the season. He is leading Major League Baseball in that category. His long ball for the year, 440 feet. Vegas odds right now have him as the most likely winner at a plus 260. The next batter we will see will be Oneil Cruz, the outfielder for the Pirates. 16 home runs so far this season, 463 feet for the longest home run. And right now, the Vegas odds have him at a plus 325. The young outfielder for the Nationals, James Wood, is our next contestant. He is at a plus 400 with his odds from Vegas. He has 24 home runs on the season. His longest home run so far, 451 feet. Filling in for Ronald Acuna, another Atlanta Brave, Matt Olson, the first baseman. So he will be representing the Braves in this contest. So far, 17 home runs on the season, his longest one at 434 feet. His odds to win, 7-1. Now coming in for another American League guy, we got Brett Rooker, the DH for the Athletics, at a plus 850 on the odds chart. 20 home runs on the season, long for the season, 440. Byron Buxton of the Twins, the outfielder, has a plus 850 as a chance at the win of the Home Run Derby. 21 home runs so far on the season, 479 feet for his longest of long balls. That is the longest of long balls on this list. So far, if we're looking at who's going to get the longest home run, so far the season says Byron Buxton is the guy that knows how to smash it the furthest this season. Junior Caminero, the third baseman for the Tampa Bay Rays, has 10-1 odds to win the event. 23 home runs, 425 feet for the longest home run of the year for him. And rounding out the competition, Jazz Chisholm Jr., the second baseman for the Yankees, at a 12-1 odds. 17 home runs on the season, 442 is the longest that he has for the season. So here's some interesting insights and notes for the Home Run Derby coming up tonight. No catcher has ever won the Home Run Derby. Ooh, that means we got a chance to see some history tonight with Cal Raleigh being in there. Cal Raleigh right now leads Major League Baseball with 38 home runs as a catcher. 11 of James Wood's 24 home runs this season have gone into straightaway center field, so might be a little bit of an advantage to him there because it is a 9-foot wall and only a 400-footer out there, so it's a pretty standard size wall for Major League Baseball. So he should have a pretty nice time with that. Junior Caminero has the second fastest bat speed in all of baseball and has the fastest swing out of everybody participating in the Home Run Derby this year. Does it make a difference? We'll find out tonight. At least it gives him a little bit more pep coming off of the bat with that exit velocity, which is something that everybody loves to go crazy on right now. Exit velocity, launch angle, the two big words of the last decade. Byron Buxton has 21 home runs, and he is on pace to smash his career high of 28 home runs. Brett Rooker will have his childhood hitting coach be his pitcher for the Derby this year, so kind of nice to see that. I always like to see either like a dad or an old coach or somebody like that coming in and pitching for the guys, because that's got to be a huge thing for that person, you know, that coach, that father, whatever, that had such an impact on that guy's life at the plate, and then being able to go out there with them. That's huge. I love those kind of stories like that. Matt Olson. This will be the second time that Matt Olson has been to the Home Run Derby. The first time he went to the Home Run Derby was back in the year 2000 when the Braves hosted it, and he went in as a fan when he bought a ticket.
Wow.
And we'll end on this one. Oneil Cruz has the hardest hit of a baseball this season. He had an exit velocity earlier this year of 123 miles an hour off the bat. That is some crazy numbers on that one. So, well, let's think about it. Who do we think wins? Ooh, that's a good one. All right, so for me, I'm going to make my pick here. Randy, feel free to jump on and in if you would like on these picks.
All right.
But let's see. For me, who do I think the winner is? Give me the guy that is leading the league right now in home runs. Give me Cal Raleigh for the victory at the Home Run Derby in Atlanta.
So that's who you're predicting.
That is my overall winner, Cal Raleigh.
I can't really argue with you on that.
All right. For most home runs in the first round, who's going to hit the most in the first round? That's usually around where you see the most home runs. Dude's excited. Dude's coming out there. Dude's just swatting the ball. This is going to be a hard one because that always doesn't determine who the winner is. So it's got to be somebody that likes to come out quick, likes to hit the home runs. Give me Byron Buxton. I don't think he is going to be the overall winner, but I do think he can come out pretty quick and hit a lot of home runs in the first round to get him on into the second round. I don't know how much he will make it on after that, but hey, let's see what he does for the first round. Randy, any thoughts?
None from me.
Most home runs overall. So who will hit the most home runs throughout the entirety of the competition, because it does reset once you get into the final rounds? I will go with O'Neal Cruz on this one. He is just a huge human being. I think he has the ability to be able to repeat that stroke over and over and over again. And the stretches that he can get out of his arms should make it a little bit easier for him, because he doesn't have to be as compact in the swings and he doesn't have to swing as violently to get the ball out. So I think that is good news for him to get the most overall home runs. And the longest home run, I think it'll go to O'Neal Cruz as well, because, I mean, he smashes home runs. He's got a home run this year somewhere in the 450 range already.
Wow.
So I think we'll see something, because once you get into this thing where, you know, they're just lobbing up the lollipops at you for you to knock as far as you can, we might see a 480-footer coming out of O'Neal Cruz tonight. That would be an awesomely massive bomb out into the outfield. Would love to see that. And we got an even number of American League and National League players in the contest. What league wins? Ooh, that's a tough one, because I think O'Neal Cruz and Raleigh are going to go out there and hit the most. But I think Jazz Chisholm is going to be a bit of an anchor to the American League side. So give me the National League for the most home runs in the Home Run Derby for this year. Should be exciting. Different formats every year. I think it is still the same format like it was in the past. So, you know, you got just so many pitches. You get like 3 outs. So an out is you don't hit the ball over the fence. So
isn't that the way Home Run Derby kind of works?
They've gone back and forth over the years. They've had it to where it was timed, like however many you can hit in 5 minutes, however many you can hit in like 40 balls, however many you can hit before collecting 3 outs. It's changed throughout time. I personally like the 3-out one. I never was big on the timer one because it just didn't sit well with me, because,
what was
you know,
the purpose of it?
Because there was a couple years ago when the Home Run Derby was in Cincinnati, they were worried about a thunderstorm coming through, a big storm. So that's when they decided to put a time limit on it. And so it went faster than most of the other home run derbies that they've had in the past. Well, because you put a time limit on something, you're going to cut the time down.
It's like the pitch count. Or the pitch
and so, you know, Major League Baseball saw it and said, oh, it takes less time. We've got to do this because we want baseball to be as short as possible. And it's one of those, I'm like, no. Baseball is America's pastime.
Right.
The only thing that I want associated with time in baseball is that saying, time does not belong in baseball. It is a timeless sport.
Right.
Now, I know most people out there are fans of the pitch clock, and I understand its purpose, and it has sped up the game. I am still not a fan of it because of that whole, it's timed, and baseball, no, there's no clocks in baseball.
Yeah.
There's no time in baseball. I should be able to walk into a baseball game and not see a clock anywhere, and I'd be happy. But you know what? I think it's here to stay.
Times are different now.
Yeah, I think the time clock, the pitch clock, it's here to stay.
Yeah,
it's not gonna go anywhere. Now there is things with the pitch clock that I do believe need to be addressed. Like the batter has to be ready to go, facing and engaging with the pitcher at the 8-second mark on the clock.
Yeah.
But the pitcher doesn't have to engage with the batter until he has to throw the ball. So that's kind of weird to me that you're telling the batter, okay, you have to be in full stance, ready to go at 8 seconds, while the pitcher can stand up there for another 8 seconds and just do whatever he wants while he's not in his motion at all. So right. I think that's a little weird. I think that's a rule change that we will see coming. That it's just going to be like, okay, both you guys have to be ready by the 5-second, 7-second, whatever mark.
Right.
And that's just something that a quality of life rule change for the game that I think it makes sense. You don't see this very often, and it's a weird complaint, I know, but it's things I noticed that I'm like, come on. Why haven't we fixed that yet? That's a pretty basic one.
Yeah.
So, but clocks are here. It is sad. Oh, well.
But there's nothing we can do about it.
We'll live with it. Yep. Yeah. I'm just going to keep on watching baseball. I'm not going to say, until they get rid of it, I'm not going to watch. No, I'm watching.
So does that mean you're sitting there during a baseball game for 2.5 hours instead of 4?
Yep. Yeah, my thing is...
I'm sure you have plenty to do.
I have, I paid for that ticket.
Yeah, that's right.
I know. I paid for that ticket.
Yeah.
That ticket is $50.
Right.
That ticket is $50 if that game is an hour and a half. That ticket is $50 if that game is 4 hours.
Right.
My entertainment, I want it to go as far as possible because I don't have a huge entertainment budget.
Yeah.
So if I can get 4 hours of entertainment over an hour and a half, give it to me.
Yeah.
I know I'm pretty old school with that one. I know people like the quicker games, but man.
I know.
Man. Just let me sit back, relax.
Go to the game early and leave
and
late.
enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why baseball is here.
That's right.
Coming up next, we have a Braves update. We are to the All-Star break. Let's see where they are in the standings. All right. Golf Plus Studios, Inside Drive, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Atlanta Braves play here.
Can the Atlanta Braves make another second half run?
Here comes Reed. Here's the front of the plate. He is.
Can history be duplicated?
Is this happening? It is. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
This is why we play the game.
Grissom on the run. Yes.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red boils, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus Studios. 4. Don't mind me. I'm just playing through. Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Inside Drive, coming to you live from the Golf Plus Studios, right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call the show. You can text the show, 850-215-6290. And we are streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Download the app. It's in the App Store. It's in the Google Plus Store. Type in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Download, listen to us everywhere you go. And ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. Next game for the Braves will be this Friday, coming to you live from Truist Park. So I would guess the first pitch would be about 6:15 on Friday. We'll get that information for you later, but right here, you will hear the Braves taking on the Yankees. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing.
6:15 will be the first pitch.
6:15, first pitch on Friday, so that means pregame festivities will be at 6 o'clock right after the afternoon underdogs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yep.
Heading into the break. It is break time for Major League Baseball. Most of the guys in Major League Baseball taking a rest for the next 4 days. Some guys playing in the All-Star game. That will be tomorrow night. So I'm not a huge standings watcher in baseball for the first half of the season. Lots of things shuffle around. Lots of things happen. Now, I will look at, the teams I enjoy, so the Braves, your Rays, your Cubs, to a lesser extent, the Reds, since I used to live in that part of the world. And I'll look up their schedule or their standings every once in a while, but I don't really absorb all the Major League Baseball standings until after the All-Star break. But, we are here. We are at the All-Star break. The Atlanta Braves heading into the break, a record of 42 wins and 53 losses. That is good for 12 and a half games behind the Phillies, who are first place in the East at 55 wins and 41 losses. The Braves having a good time at home, 24 and 22. Now that could be a little bit better, but at least over 500. So let's look for the positives right now. On the road, I don't know if we even want to talk about that.
What?
18 and 31. Heading out of Atlanta. That is,
It has not been a good year for the Braves.
That is not pretty. There are only two teams in the National League that have worse away standings than the Braves. And that would be the Pittsburgh Pirates at 13 and 37 and the Colorado Rockies at 12 and 38. That is not the company that you want to be keeping, especially if you want to believe that you are making the push for the postseason. Now, the Braves have scored 388 runs. That is good enough for dead last in the National League East. Yes, even the Nationals and the Marlins have scored more runs than the Braves this year. That is not a pretty picture. But for runs allowed, the Braves have only allowed 386 runs. Now, that's not awful. That's not bad. So pitching kind of doing its job. Getting across the plate, not so much.
No, it's been an offensive struggle all year long for the Braves.
It is, yeah. It is a +2 differential on runs scored there. So, hey, they are in the positive for differential, so that means they at least have more runs scored then they have given up. And if you look at all the teams that are playing below 500 in the National League, the Braves are the only team that are below 500 on the plus side of things. So take your positives, people. You got to look at the good because you got to ride on that good to try to get back into the level of great. Losing streak of 1 right now, 3-7 in the last 10 for the Braves. Not a pretty picture.
That game last night against the Cardinals was a prime example of the entire Braves season. When they went to the rain delay, Braves were winning 3-1. I think it was like the 5th inning. And then, that game last night came down to the wire, and the Cardinals won it 5-4. So it's just they get these leads, and even though I know the lead wasn't substantial, but still, you take the lead, and it's just that letdown. And I think that's what's so frustrating for fans. You
gotta win those 1-run games because you're going to have a lot of them in baseball because you score 1 run at a time in baseball. So therefore, 1-run games fairly common. Now the Braves, I can probably find that number real quick. I might grab it here during the next break, but they have got to improve because looking at it, they're not doing great in 1-run games. One of my evidence and proofs of this is look at the Braves in extra innings this year. 2 wins in extra innings this year.
Well, how many losses?
I didn't count that. I only counted the ones because it was too depressing to go through the rest of it.
Well, I understand.
So, yeah, it is a situation where somebody has got to step up in the dugout at a clutch moment where it's a tie game or you're down 1.
Yeah.
And you've got to produce something. You've got to get on base. You've got to get the guy over. You've got to hit a home run yourself. It is a situation that somebody, I don't know who. I really don't know who. I figured Acuna, when he got back, was going to be that guy. And Acuna,
I think a lot of people thought that.
And Acuna was on fire like those first 2 or 3 weeks he came back. But then I went on vacation, and he collapsed back to earth, man. I mean, I knew he was going to come back to earth because you can't play at those numbers and those stats for that long. But when I'm gone for 2 weeks, in that 2-week period, you hit a 186 and you're below the Mendoza line, that's more than falling back to earth. That is like smashing into a rock and going about 3 feet into it on your way down.
Yeah.
Oh. But, hey, the Braves did bring back Jesse Chavez again. Okay. We all saw that. I mean, there's nothing more brave than bringing back Jesse Chavez a couple of times this season. Don't worry. I'm sure he'll get DFA'd, go back down to the minors, and be back up sometime in a month or so.
Yeah, exactly.
He is just the Braves guy. And at least the Braves have that arm that they can call on every once in a while going, hey,
need an extra.
We need an extra arm because the other guys are kind of tired. You want to come back and play for us for a little bit? And Jesse's like, sure.
All right, I'll come bail you out.
Sure, I'll come play for a minute. Sounds fun this week. All right, let's get into the stats for the first half of this season. So let's go to the Braves. Open up. I'm on the internet. Of course, it's going nice and quick for me. So the stats right now, let's get into the, let's look at the offensive side of things. Let's look at what the Bats have been doing. So Acuna has been the best so far at the offensive side of the plate, though he has only been in 45 games. He still has an average over 300 at a 323, and he has an OPS, the only player on the Braves with an OPS over 1,000, and he is at 1,025. So that's an actual really, really nice OPS, carrying a WAR right now of a 2.3. He's getting hits. He's got 52 hits through 45 games. You can't ask a guy to get more than a hit a game because if you look at a Major League Baseball average, a 333, you're going to be like, man, that's great. That is 1 hit a game because you're going to come up more than likely 3 times. If you're at the top of the order, you might be coming up 4 times. So he has done his due diligence to try to pull the Braves out of this. Has 52 strikeouts, though, so little bit high on that, but he also does have 32 walks. So that's telling me he's getting better at judging the ball because he used to have a much higher strikeout to walk ratio. So I think that's a little bit of maturity. That's a little bit patience at the plate that we are starting to see. Now, Acuna is the only guy for the Braves currently over a 300 average. After that, you got to start falling into guys like Drake Baldwin and Austin Riley, who are both in the 270s. Jurickson Profar will be coming back here pretty soon. I'd say in the next week or two, he should be done with his 80-game suspension, because that happened kind of early in the season, so we should see him back kind of soon-ish after the All-Star break. And right now it's one of those, I think any help is good help as long as he comes back in playing shape. And I'm sure the team has kept him in playing shape, because the teams are not going to let, guys like that fall out of playing shape, especially when you know that they can come back during that season. Now, he cannot have direct contact with the club, but I am sure there's somebody who's making, maybe a little indirect contacts with him, saying, hey, can you work on this or that? I'm sure that happens. I mean, that happens with all teams, as long as it's not a direct thing. Major League Baseball usually doesn't come down on you too hard. Matt Olson, the guy that is going to be in the home run derby for the Braves, 17 home runs on the season, a 262 average, and has a slug of 468. So one of the higher slugs on the Braves, behind Sean Murphy, Acuna, and Ozzie Albies. And Ozzie Albies needs to bring up that, that Ozuna needs to bring up that average, because it's low, man. So Olson, probably one of your best batters. And then after that, it starts going downhill pretty quick. Marcell Ozuna batting a 239, only 13 home runs on the year. Now, that was a guy that I was figuring was going to have a good 40, 45 home runs on the season. That is a guy that you would expect to have a good 40, 45 home runs on this season. Now, he is not, a 350 hitter. He just doesn't hit for that kind of average. So I was expecting him, his usual 270, 280, 40 home runs, but that 239, 13 home runs, I don't know if he's just not seeing it as well, or if he's just dropping his hands and getting more flyouts. I don't know what is happening there. I need to just probably watch and pay a little bit more of attention to it. But Ozuna, if he can step back up in the second half, crank out some home runs, that will be a huge step in the right direction. And my big worry for the Braves, these two fellas that the Braves are still playing, and you got to play them because they're on your team and they're still probably your best option, Ozzie Albies and Michael Harris II. Ozzie Albies with a 220, Michael Harris with a 210. I mean, these guys aren't even hitting a beach ball going over the plate. I am not sure what has happened to Ozzie. He was never a power guy.
Right.
And he wasn't a super contact guy, but he wasn't a horrible, danger at the plate. But he has now just become an absolute danger to the Braves at the plate. Past 2 weeks, he has just dropped off to somewhere around 100 batting average. That's a 1-0-0, guys. That's half the Mendoza line. And we call the Mendoza line bad. What do you call it when you're halfway down the Mendoza line? I'd guess awful.
That's terrible.
So I'm not sure what they are going to do with him. He is signed through this year, and I do believe he is signed through next year, and then that contract is out and over. I don't know if you want to bring him back. He's been such a core part of the team for so long. I understand how it's hard to get rid of those guys, but last season wasn't great, and this season has been just kind of abysmal. So is he trade bait in the offseason? I don't know. I don't know what you could get for him. Is he going to be re-signed for a long-term thing for the Braves? I doubt it. I mean, if you get to him next year and it's like, you had an okay season this year or next year, you had an okay season next year. Do you offer him like a year or two, prove it? Maybe. Do you just cut ties and say, well, we need to find another second baseman? I mean, it's hard to replace those guys, but sometimes you just got to cut bait and see what else you can get to fill in on the positions. How much time we got left? Don't really got enough time to get into pitching, so we'll get into that sometime later this week. You are tuned in to the Inside Drive, coming to you live from the Golf Plus Studios, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Monday's weather. This afternoon and evening there will be a moderate breeze out of the west. Possible thunderstorms and mostly sunshine and 92. Mostly clear skies tonight, a little cooler at 81. Tomorrow, partly sunny and likely thunderstorms and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 94. Slightly cooler at 88 Wednesday, and we'll have definite thunderstorms and moderate rain. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
There's a reason we call it the big one, because the biggest deals of the year are happening now at Panama City Toyota. And you can get 3.99% APR on the award-winning Camry, plus 90 days until you make your first payment, and 3.99% on a new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.99% on the bold Tacoma, or take the lead and get 1.99% on the powerful Tundra. The big one, right now at Panama City Toyota.
Offers expire August 4th. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards in Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive. And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight. You are tuned in to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Inside Drive coming to you from the Golf Plus Studios right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. James Fife filling in for Ryan Mulvey, and the boss man here with me today, Randy Williams. How goes it, Randy?
It is going absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. Well, you can call the show. You can text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download our app. We're on the App Store. We're in the Google Play Store. We're in all of those kinds of stores. Just type in ESPN Northwest Florida. You'll see our little logo. Download it. Take us with you everywhere you go. Yellow flags out at the beach, so be safe and enjoy your time out at the beach.
Be safe, not sorry.
Yes, exactly. No worries about too much, because yellow flags, and they took the purple flags off. So that's another good sign, because throughout the weekend, and I think even Friday when I was hosting, had purple flag conditions. Usually, that purple flags, for those who don't know, means marine wildlife. So it could be anything from sharks to whales to seals to jellyfish. Usually around here, when you see the purple flag, it is because the jellies are starting to roll in just a little bit. So nice to see that the purple flag's back down. So don't have to worry about the marine wildlife out there, at least for today.
The text line's been extremely busy today.
Hit me with it.
A couple of questions. Cal Raleigh is a switch hitter Is he swinging right or left tonight?
Ooh, I don't know. I did not see that one come through on the news release that I had. I do believe he has a bit more power from the right-hand side, so I think we will see him going from the right-hand side and being in Truist Park where the left field wall is shorter than the right field wall, even though it is 10 feet further. It's a little bit easier to hit it 10 feet further over a 6-foot wall than it is to hit it 10 feet shorter over a 16-foot wall out in right field. So I would assume you'll see him batting right-handed.
All right, another text came in as well. I think players getting 10 outs for the home run derby, and give me O'Neill Cruz to win.
All right. Yeah, that's a good pick. It's O'Neill Cruz, I think, is one of the other great picks to choose for the overall winner on it because, I mean, massive man, has a nice, sweet stroke, easily repeatable, not too violent, not too jerky. So, on a ball that's coming in nice and slow, because it's supposed to come in nice and slow so you can knock it real far. It's he's got that kind of swing that he can repeat, and he can repeat it over and over again all nice. So I like O'Neill Cruz for a win as well, though I did not pick him. I can see him getting that big old victory. Any more for me, Randy?
No, I think that's going to do it for now.
All right.
The text line's still open, of course, 850-215-6290.
And also, you can find us on Facebook. Leave a comment there. We will, when I get around to seeing it, I will read it out to you, and we will give some answers for any questions there. Although Jack is saying, how is everyone? Jack, I am having a great day, my friend. Hopefully, you too are enjoying this beautiful Monday. So, afternoon delight time. Got a few little debriefs of the afternoon delight. We'll start with this one.
All right.
Some people keep photographs, others cherish old yellowed letters. And then there are those who hold on to a slice of cake that is now 77 years old and well past its prime.
Is this a wedding cake?
It might sound like a joke, but that's the curious fate of a dessert that has survived through eras and generations. A 10-centimeter high, uniced slice preserved in a box decorated with the silver initials EP has just been sold at auction for £2,000, and that would be about 2,600 American dollars. The reason for such a high price? This piece is a remnant of the majestic wedding cake served at the marriage of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip of Greece. That wedding was celebrated on November 20th, 1947. The original cake, standing 2.7 meters tall and weighing over 225 kilograms, was nicknamed the 10,000-mile cake due to its ingredients coming from all over the Commonwealth: sugar from Australia, rum from Jamaica, flour from Canada. It was made by McVeety and Price and cut by Prince Philip with his ceremonial sword. From that masterpiece, 2,000 slices were served to guests, and hundreds more were sent to charities around the world.
That's a worldly cake.
The now famous slice sold at auction was originally given to Chief Petty Officer F. Lowens of the Royal Navy, who received it during the reception at Buckingham Palace. Never eaten, it was passed down through his family until now. The new owner, 46-year-old Gary Layton, a British entrepreneur and a royal memorabilia collector, has announced that he intends to eat it for his 65th birthday, flambeing it in rum to kill any bacteria. The event is set to take place aboard the historic Royal Yacht Britannica during a party that promises to be as eccentric as it is regal. I'll cut a third of it off and I will flambe it in rum, Layton said. If anything happens to me, at least I'll go out in style. Leighton is no stranger to such adventures. He already owns a slice of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's wedding cake, as well as one from Princess Anne's 1973 wedding to Mark Phillips, which he purchased for 320 pounds. That's about $400 US. In short, this is no longer just a dessert. It's a piece of history. The fascination with the British monarchy continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts. So there you go. Who wants a slice of cake that was made in the 40s?
I think I'll take a pass.
I think I will also pass on that little piece of the pie or piece of the cake.
Yeah.
Another one for us. This one coming all the way from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. A traffic stop in southeast Wisconsin led authorities to uncover drugs, guns, and cash, all hidden inside of a bag labeled, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." According to the Pleasant Prairie Police Department, officers on Monday, July 7th, located a vehicle connected to a wanted individual. After making contact, they quickly discovered there was more happening than just a warrant. K-9 Chase was called to the scene and alerted on the vehicle, giving officers probable cause to conduct a search. Inside the vehicle, officers reportedly found cocaine, a loaded firearm, drug paraphernalia, and a quantity of currency. All inside a bag bearing the ironic phrase, "Definitely not a bag full of drugs." The two men, both 37, from Kenosha were arrested. The driver faces charges of possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. The passenger was also arrested for carrying a concealed firearm, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Thanks to our officers for staying alert and keeping dangerous items off the street, Pleasant Prairie Police stated in a release. No further details have been released. God, that one is kind of fun, I gotta say. Not a bag of drugs. Well, then what's in this not bag of drugs? Oh, it's drugs.
No.
Can you get any more dense sometimes? The answer is probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah, you really, really can. All right, and a sports-related afternoon delight. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Cleveland Browns rookie running back Quishon Judkins was arrested Saturday night in Florida on charges of battery and domestic violence. According to Broward County arrest records, Judkins was jailed overnight and was awaiting his first court appearance. The charge is described in the arrest report as touch or strike battery domestic violence. The charge is a misdemeanor. The records do not indicate if Judkins has an attorney who would be able to make comment. A Browns spokesman said the team is aware of the incident and is gathering more information. The 21-year-old Judkins was the 36th overall pick in the April draft after rushing for 1,060 yards and 14 touchdowns at Ohio State last season. The Browns drafted Judkins in the hopes that he could become the team's leading running back after Nick Chubb signed with the Houston Texans. Cleveland also drafted Dylan Sampson in the 4th round. Judkins is the only member of the Browns' 7-player draft class who has not signed his rookie contract. Cleveland's rookies are scheduled to report to training camp this Friday.
Oh, wow. He won't be there.
So I'm assuming he won't be there, and if he doesn't sign that rookie contract, he's not allowed to be there. So
wow.
It's you're not helping yourself out, man. At least if you sign the contract before this happens, you at least have to force their hand at doing something about your contract. Because I guarantee you there's probably some stipulation in that contract that says if you're a naughty boy and you get arrested enough times,
right,
we can claw some of that money back. But as of right now, they're not giving you any money, and they might just go, you know what?
We're going to move on.
I don't know if I really want to put up with this for that long. We already got enough of a sideshow here in Cleveland right now. Do we really want some more? Or maybe they even want some more, so that way everybody forgets that they got Deshaun Watson there.
It's unbelievable. There are few people who are able to make it to the NFL level and make that kind of money, and all you have to do is play football, go to practice, and stay out of trouble.
Yep.
How difficult is that?
Well, apparently the last one for some people is
extremely
difficult time. And then you get some guys like, let's look at Vince Young.
Yeah.
He didn't exactly get in quote-unquote legal troubles.
Right.
But he didn't do the second part, which was go to practice.
Yeah.
He didn't. I mean, he'd show up to practices late. He wouldn't pay attention. He'd fall asleep. I mean, can I take a nap right now, Randy?
No.
You okay with that?
Absolutely not.
All right, man. But I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's not the only one.
No.
On the field either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could see somebody falling asleep if practice got kind of boring. There's worse things.
Well, I mean, he would be in like one-on-one like video reviews with the quarterback coach and like
nod off for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Now, if you're doing that, that's a problem. Now, if it's like a mass meeting, where all 57 guys or whatever are there, okay, that's a little bit different. Sure, they're talking something you're not real interested in. You nod off a little bit. But when you're in the quarterback room and it's you and two other quarterbacks and a quarterback coach and you're not paying attention, it don't look good for you.
Yeah.
It don't look good for you.
Maybe he just felt like he didn't need it.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things, if you go back and look at it. So the NFL, when you get drafted into the NFL, all new players, they have a meeting with the National Football League where it's like an onboarding process. Those of you that have gotten new jobs before, you understand what an onboarding process is. Yep. And the NFL has one for players coming into the NFL, all the guys that have been drafted. You come to this meeting in New York, they put you in a room, and they do things like they, meet and greet you. They let you know what's going on. They give you the rule book. You sign that, yes, I was given the rule book. I understand, NFL policies and procedures. And then they do things for the guys, like they have financiers come in and try to explain to them how to take care of your finances. So when you're done playing football in 4 to 5 years, you're not broke.
Now, do they also have that at the collegiate level, too? Because
some colleges are starting to do that. Some colleges are really starting to do that. Some colleges have been doing that for a while, but almost all of your big programs are now doing that because of the NIL deals that are coming in, trying to keep these kids from doing something stupid with the money. Because, some of these kids haven't seen $1 in their life, and now they've got $1 million.
Well, you also, on the other side of that coin, you also have a lot of people who are probably trying to get their hands on that money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's why you've got
a lot of scams out there.
You got to have a good agent that has your interest, too, because sometimes that agent is that scammer.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
But back to the what the NFL was doing, Vince Young went to those things, and instead of paying attention to any of those things, he wrote on the front of his cover, "Invincible."
Oh.
And we all see where that landed Vince. Vince Young was one of those guys. He had talent.
Yeah.
He had great natural ability.
Yeah.
And he threw it away.
When I think about Vince Young, here's what I think about. I think about the national championship game when he was at Texas.
That was a great game.
He took over that game and, single-handedly.
Oh, yeah.
It
took USC down.
Oh, God, yeah.
That was a Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, USC. So, that was two guys that won the Heisman playing on that football team.
Right.
And he, by himself, said, no, we're winning this.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
So, hopefully Vince is doing well out there now. Hopefully he's got stuff under control and he's living the best life that he can. Yeah. Other quick little news. So, I don't like to bring politics in.
Thank you.
Often, but every once in a while, paths cross. And this really isn't sports related, but every once in a while I talk gambling. And this is gambling related. So in the big, beautiful bill that passed, the new tax, law that we are now going to be living under, there is a change to how bettors' winnings are taxed. So now...
Were they not before?
No. So you had to claim. So example given.
Right, yeah.
So I bet $10,000 today.
Yeah.
My bet hits. I got $20,000. Tomorrow, I take my $20,000 and I bet my $20,000, but I lose it, so I'm at zero, right?
Okay.
So back in the day, you didn't make anything. You had nothing to claim.
Right.
Now...
Which is true, you don't.
Now I have to claim that $10,000. Even if I lose it the next day, I have to claim every win. So be careful out there, bettors.
Yeah.
How you are being taxed now is going to change. Now, if you're a small fry like me, doing your $2 bets out there, as long as you're not hitting that $600 mark of what you make, IRS probably not going to be going after you.
So
do ask your tax
you have
professional
to provide,
first.
you have to fill out a form, or you have to provide your Social Security number when you go to, let's say, the horse track and you're going to bet the Kentucky Derby, or you're buying a lottery ticket. I mean, are they going to track you that way, or?
So I mean, what they're going to do is they're just going to ask for your receipts. So like if you go in and you make that $600 bet and then you cash it out on the winnings, you're going to get a receipt.
Yeah.
You just have to take that receipt and turn it in.
Oh, wow.
That, okay, here's my $600 bet. It made $200. You're going to be taxed on those $200 worth of winnings now. Doesn't even matter if you lose that $200 the next day. So be careful, guys.
Yeah.
A change to the law has arrived. It is not going to be enforced until next year, but be aware, guys. Don't get one of them letters from the government saying, hey, you owe us money, because nobody wants to get those letters. I tell you that right now.
Nope, absolutely not.
All right, coming up next, boys and girls, we will be talking to our great friend Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports. You are tuned in to the Inside Drive, coming to you live from the Golf Plus Studios, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Monday. A possibility of thunderstorms and mostly sunny the remainder of the day, with a wind at 15 miles per hour coming out of the west and 92. Tonight, look for mostly clear skies with a temperature near 81. Tomorrow, a high around 94 and a mixture of some sun and likely thunderstorms. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Cold, creamy, and gourmet. Milkshake Factory is now open at Breakfast Point Marketplace near Publix, next to First Watch. Unbelievably delicious handcrafted milkshakes and chocolates, like the famous chocolate bark. Try the mouth-watering chocolate-dipped strawberry shake. Family-friendly fun and unforgettable shakes await. Milkshake Factory now open at Breakfast Point Marketplace near Publix, next to First Watch on Back Beach. Milkshake Factory.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus Studios.
We're starting fresh.
Fresher than you start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is the Inside Drive coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is where your radio dial currently is. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to download our app. And if you need to be entertained, we got that for you. Scorpion TV with 5,000 live streaming channels is right at your fingertips. Use the promo code ESPN Northwest or ESPN NW. That is ESPN NW. And you can get your month membership for $45.08. You can watch up to 5 devices at one time. So get on out there. Scorpion TV. On the line with us currently, Aaron Bearden, a friend of the show and owner of Instant Replay Sports Cards right here in Panama City. Mr. Bearden, how is your Monday?
It's fantastic so far. How about you guys?
I am having an absolutely wonderful time on a Monday.
All right.
All
Way
right.
to start the week off right.
Absolutely getting a good start to this week. A kind of lighter week on the sports side of things with the All-Star game going on, but I am always a big fan of the All-Star game, enjoying seeing the best of the best out there. So how's the shop going, man?
Hey, this week is, the one day in the entire calendar year that none of the 4 major American sports are going?
Yeah, there's only like 2-3 days a year, and it's always at least like the day before and the day after, and then usually, now that they're going to a 4-day off instead of 3, it's usually those 3 days in a row that, you just kind of look around and watch the paint dry.
So like the day after the MLB All-Star game was the only day that none of the 4 big ones operated, but I know they're all trying to expand their schedules and get as many opportunities to sell tickets and be on TV as possible. Got to pay those athlete contracts.
Absolutely.
So, great week for sports fans in general. MLB draft going on. Like I said, All-Star game. Yeah.
All-Star game, home run derby tonight as well for all of those that like the long ball. Always fun. They always change up how they do it every year, and they're going back to the out system instead of the clock system. Makes me happy. Makes me happy seeing clocks going away from baseball.
Yeah, I still have a bit of a bone to pick with them from a few years ago. They went to the thing where you had to wait until the ball landed before you could get another ball pitched. And my guy in the Derby that year was Chris Bryant. And, if you watch Chris Bryant, particularly back when he was healthy and in his prime, he had those big, those arcing, those chip shot kind of home runs, those
moonshot
way up to the moon. Yeah, and he had to wait, a really long time for those balls to come down. And he didn't get nearly as many things pitched to him as some of the other guys. But like you said, they keep changing it up, and it is what it is. It's for fun. It's a good little exhibition. Draw some eyes to the game.
Draw some eyes to the game. I like how they have the kids in the outfield, all the local little leaguers running around in the outfield chasing the balls. It's always a blast to see them because it's just funny, just seeing some of those 8-9-year-olds just running as fast as they can, tripping over each other to go after a ball.
Yeah, it's just a great feeling. Something they can always talk about. Hey, man, I was a kid. I got to be on the MLB field and, catch some balls from some of these big stars.
Oh, yeah, I caught a Ken Griffey Jr. ball during the home run derby. I mean, if I did that, I'd be talking about it still today. I didn't, but I would.
Absolutely.
How's the shop going for you, Aaron?
Oh, that's great. It's incredibly busy to the point I rarely get time to be out on the sales floor like I used to do because I'm doing so many other things right now. But, it's a lot of fun. It's a great time right now in cards. People ask, well, what's hot right now in cards? Well, pretty much everything. It's a popular time. It really hasn't been like this in over 30 years. To the point where everything is selling that they put out. They're not producing enough to meet the demand, which it can be a bit frustrating. It's driving some prices up.
Yep.
But it's keeping your value up as well if you're buying the right stuff. If you're buying hobby product, it's limited. Now, if you're buying retail, what's at the big box retail stores, department stores, yeah, that stuff's getting printed around the clock. But your hobby products are going to hold good value from this era. So just got to get the right players. You should be gold.
Did you make it up to Fanatics Fest?
We did. Yeah,
Ooh,
Fanatics
tell me about
invited us to go up. Yeah, we have our TV show, the Card Shop show that they filmed here. And so Fanatics invited us up to go film at Fanatics Fest. So we got some footage, which is going to be airing here in a couple of weeks on the Card Shop show, kind of give you a rundown of what was going on, what we saw at Fanatics Fest. And beyond just the sort of, celebrity hoopla side of it, what we kind of saw for the industry that maybe card collectors, really need to know. But we did see a few people. I was about 10, 15 feet away from Tom Brady while he was throwing football with some kids.
Nice.
And we got to watch C.J. Stroud come up and do a little interview and talk about some projects he's got going on. I think I was like second row for that. Watch Wade Boggs do a podcast and talk about some of the memorabilia that he has kept from his playing days. So, yeah, there's some neat things going on up there. And while we were there, we went to Yankee Stadium, saw the Yankees play the Orioles.
Nice.
And had just a real good weekend up in New York, thanks to Fanatics.
Did you sit with the bleacher creatures?
We did not. The first night, first game was a night game, and we set up, I think the 300 level. We were on the front row, right down third baseline. And it was really cool. We sat next to a gentleman who was there with his daughter and her husband, and he's a very, very knowledgeable Yankees fan, longtime fan. And, he knew a lot about the history with not just the team, the stadium, that sort of thing. Really good ambassador for the team and for the sport. So it was a lot of fun. The next day we sat down at field level, right down third baseline, and it was one of the hottest, maybe the hottest game I've ever been to. Not what you expect in New York City. Particularly if you've been to a lot of Atlanta games. But, it was hotter than people probably should have been enduring sitting out there. There were some people passing out and things from the heat. But a great experience overall. If you like baseball stadiums, to me, I want to visit all of them. They all have something really special about them. And Yankee Stadium is certainly one of the most hallowed and revered.
Oh, absolutely. It's one I have not been to, but I definitely... Yankee Stadium's one of them on my list. I'd like to hit up all of them. I've been to, I'd say about 5 or 6 now, so I'm on my way. I only got like 24 more or so to go, right?
Yeah. I'm going, I'll be at Fenway in a couple of weeks. I've been to Fenway before. This will be the first time I've actually been able to catch a game at Fenway when I've been there during the season. So going to go up and see the Royals play the Red Sox.
You going to sit on the Green Monster?
No, I went up there for the tour, which is one of the best ways to get to experience the Green Monster because it's so much cheaper to do the tour than get a ticket up there. But I'm sitting literally across from the Green Monster, so I have it in view the entire time. It'll make for some great pictures during the game, and maybe Bobby Witt or Jack Caglione or somebody like that can hit one up there.
Nice. So, I have seen some card news coming through, and I follow some of the auctions because sometimes you can just find some really cool things. So there was an auction through Summer Sports Cards auction, and it was a complete set of the 1964 Topps with all of them graded at a 9 or higher that sold for $240,000. That was that's a set I think looks really, really great, that 1964 Topps.
Yeah, it's a really clean set. The design doesn't get in the way of the photographs of the players. I like the backs of the 64s as well. They almost don't feel like the backs really go with the fronts, but I do like the look of them. Yeah, 64s, it's a really good, clean. It's kind of an underrated, underappreciated set because it doesn't maybe have the rookie draw, the rookie appeal that some of the other 60s sets. You get to 65, and you got some great Hall of Fame rookies in there. Certainly 66, with Jim Palmer. Ending back 63, obviously, with Pete Rose. So 64 is almost like an in-between kind of year. There's some years like that in cards that actually it makes them affordable for collectors sometimes. Certain years are just like, hey, there's not a huge rookie. That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. You got to put a set together and you got to buy a $5,000 rookie card, to complete your set. So, 64 is really one worth looking at.
Yeah, that's the set that, and it's got a lot of guys that I'm a big fan of. Koufax, Banks, Hank Aaron, all of them in those. Absolutely a set that I got a few of myself and absolutely love that one.
Yeah, there's, it's kind of a second golden era of baseball, right? I mean, you sort of think of the 20s and 30s, Ruth and Gehrig and Jimmy Fox and, a lot of those, Lefty Grove, a lot of those kind of guys. And then you get into that maybe around 1960 mark. And it's like at one time you think of all these legends that were on the field, Mantle, Mays, Clemente, like you said, Koufax and Aaron and Banks. And, say by 1960 or so, you still had Stan Musial out there and Warren Spahn and it's just an amazing, amazing time. If you find any footage from games back then, it's great to watch those games. You're like, man, there's 15 Hall of Famers on the field right now. It's hard to believe.
So I'm going to get into some way, way, way back. I'm going to talk some T206 and T205, both of them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely beautiful cards. I love the sets on both. I think the 206 is probably more prized, but that 205 I've gotten to see a handful now, and I just think they are absolutely gorgeous. What's your take on those two?
Yeah, I think the 205, there's more going on with the design. The 206, obviously, it's got that stature because of the Wagner card, but also like the 64 tops, it's a clean set. It's just a plain white border, player name and team at the bottom. And if you just want to appreciate a picture of the player, T206 has got you covered. But yeah, T205s, there's several sets from back then that are just really, really gorgeous cards that are very, very hard to find now. Maybe not as well known as T206s, but, if people think of the idea of back then that cards were really simple and, just sort of not a lot of thought put into them, no, there was great design work going on in cards back then. And basically everything was new. They were doing stuff for the first time. So it's kind of interesting to trace the history of the hobby and see like, oh, this is the first time they thought about putting two players on a card together, or turning a card horizontally instead of vertically or something like that. So, yeah, it's a great set.
So a little bit of memorabilia news, because I know you deal a little bit into the sports memorabilia sides of things. The Dodgers, so we know that the Dodgers, the family that owns the Dodgers, has recently purchased the Los Angeles Lakers. And at the end of this season, there is a bobblehead giveaway at Dodger Stadium for the Kobe Bryant. So it is Kobe in his Lakers get-up gear, but also swinging the bat. So that is one of those oddities that I think a lot of people will be going after, because, you don't often see cross sports, memorabilia being given out. So props to the Dodgers on that. But, hey, if you own the rights to both of them, you might as well, right?
Yeah, use that synergy. And, there's, it's hard to find anybody more beloved in American sports in the last 40 years or so than Kobe. And certainly with his passing, but even before then, Kobe was just a really respected guy and somebody that fans were always interested in his items, whether it was cards or memorabilia. So that's a great idea. Yeah, we were at the Yankees game. They were doing, it was bobblehead night for Aaron Judge. And the bobblehead has him in his Yankees uniform, and he's unbuttoning the jersey, and he's got the Superman uniform underneath it.
Love it.
Really, really cool piece.
Love it. I got a couple bobbleheads just from the years ago in the ballparks, and always love seeing those things coming on around. So the WNBA. Go ahead, man.
I was going to say, the Braves did one a few years back. Atlanta fans may recall this, where there was a bad storm or something. And if I remember the story correctly, it was like Freddie Freeman was broke down on the way to the game or something, and Chipper Jones came out like on a four-wheeler, an ATV or something, and like picked him up and took him to the stadium, and the Braves did a bobblehead of the two of them on the four-wheeler together. And it was a really limited thing and very sought after. It's kind of what I've always thought would be cool just to have up on a shelf.
No, that wouldn't be cool one just to have hanging around just for the story.
A lot of collectability to that one because, it's based on a real incident and, something Atlanta fans will recall for a long time.
So WNBA kind of in full swing. What's the status on the cards on that? How they doing for you? I got to imagine Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark cards probably flying for you pretty well.
Yeah, somewhat. They're not producing enough of the product. I kind of said that earlier with some of the hobby stuff. We're in a state of flux right now with some of the licenses. So it's kind of like musical chairs. Some of the companies that have licenses maybe don't want to get stuck with some of the product when they lose the license and, really just don't know where that's all going to land. The WNBA cards, honestly, were hotter last year because both of those players were rookies, and that's what everybody wanted to get. Now they've had a year in the league, and sort of that some of that newness has worn off. I know Caitlin Clark has had some injury issues. But it's kind of that's normal with anything, any player. If they're going to be hot that rookie year, second year, it's like, okay, well, we already got him. Let's see who else's cards are out there. And as good as, and as talented as the new WNBA rookie class is, they just don't have that sort of that level of household name, that hype, that front of the magazine kind of thing that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese brought in with them. So the demand's not there as much for the rookie class now.
So what?
But, we'll see.
So what kind of events we got coming up at the shop?
So we have obviously Kids Club on Friday night. We have Rip Night this Saturday. This is going to be a very cool, very special Rip Night. We're going to do some new things we have not done before. Space is very, very limited. We're also doing a really cool giveaway. We're going to give away a graded Shohei Ohtani rookie card for anybody who buys in for the Pack Wars at Rib Night. Somebody's walking out with a graded Ohtani, which is never a bad thing to have. And it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of group breaks, some trivia, and some real big news coming down the pipeline that I think we're going to announce at Rib Night.
Excellent.
So should be good. Yeah, and like I said, Card Shop Show, we're coming back for the second half of the first season. Going to have that Fanatics Fest stuff in there. Also going to have some great footage at Yankee Stadium of some really cool things the Yankees let us do kind of behind the scenes before the game started. They found out we were in New York to film for Fanatics Fest and kind of opened the doors for us to come in and film some stuff at Yankee Stadium that people don't normally get to see. So I'm very excited about showing that off.
That is awesome, man. I'd love to get a tour like that. Can't wait. Catch the show, my friend. All right, Aaron Bearden, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with us on the Inside Drive on this Monday.
Yeah, you guys out there, take care. Have a great week.
Have a great one, Mr. Bearden, and thanks for coming on in. Aaron Bearden, owner, Instant Replay Sports Cards right here in Panama City. This is the Inside Drive Golf Plus Studios. When we get back, our $2 bets and this day in history.
Have you ever wanted to reach out and smack someone?
Sit your ass down and shut up!
Call or text the Afternoon Underdogs on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida with your rants, hot takes, picks, and takedowns.
This is unacceptable at the University of Alabama.
This should go 7 games. You've got to have a bad game at some point.
The Red 70s Studio Line, 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida. Get in the game.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf. You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned in to the Inside Drive, coming to you live from the Golf Plus Studios here in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida. You can call the show. You can text us here at the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and download our app to whatever service you're using. If you got an iPhone, head on over to the App Store, download us. If you got an Android, head on over to the Google Play Store. Type in ESPN Northwest Florida. You'll see us. Download us. Take us with you everywhere you go.
Well, you know what? Here's an easier way to do it. Just go to ESPNPC.com, and the links are already there. So if you have an Android, hit for the Google Play. If you have an iPhone, the Apple Store is right there. Just click on that, take you right to it. You only have to do a search.
Making it easy for you, people. That's
best.
what we're doing. We just try to make life totally easy for everybody. And ESPN Northwest Florida is the home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. Braves will be back in action on Friday. Got a couple of days off due to the All-Star game. They will be taking on the New York Yankees. This game will be coming to you live from Truist Park. 6:15 first pitch, 6 o'clock for the pregame festivities right after the afternoon underdogs here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. It is time for our $2 bets. Now, not a whole lot of sports stuff going on out there in the world right now. So, did a little bit of research to try to find out a little bit about the WNBA. Only 2 games tonight there, and I only felt good about betting in one of them. The Chicago Sky. That's how you pronounce it. We'll be taking on the Minnesota Lynx. I will be taking the Chicago Sky plus the 10.5 points against the Lynx, and I will take the under for this game at 160.5. So my $2 bet, if it happens to hit, will return me 7 whole American dollars. My next bet will be throwing into the Home Run Derby. Who will win the Home Run Derby? My bet is Kyle Raleigh will win the Home Run Derby. I am betting $2 on that since this is our $2 bet section. And my $2, if it hits, that one will also return me 7 American dollars. And one more for you. Also, Home Run Derby. This one, who has the longest of the long balls? Who is going to hit the baseball the furthest during the Home Run Derby? And my selection for that is O'Neal Cruz. That is a $2 bet. And if that $2 bet hits, it will return me $4.90. And we discussed the new taxation on betting, people, so just be prepared for that coming in the future. make sure you keep enough money set aside so that way when they come around from the IRS and say, hey, we know you've been betting, we need your winnings, you at least got something set aside to take care of the man, to get the man off of your back, because guess what? The government likes its money, and they don't like not getting their money, so make sure to pay your taxes or else you're going to end up like Al Capone. All of that just because you went and sports bet. Just be aware. Be prepared, everyone. All right, we will roll on into this day in history. It is Monday, July 14th. Happy July, everybody. And on this day, 1951, Citation is the first horse to win $1 million in his career by taking the Hollywood Gold Cup by 4 lengths in Inglewood, California. Citation retires after the race and had a total of winnings of $1,085,760. This day, 1967, Eddie Matthews of the Astros hits his 500th career home run off of San Francisco's Juan Marshall at Candlestick Park. The Astros defeat the Giants 8-6 in that baseball game. This day, 1968, Hank Aaron, Hammerin' Hank, hits home run number 500 off of Mike McCormick as the Atlanta Braves defeat the San Francisco Giants 4-2. This day, 1985, the Baltimore Stars defeat the Oakland Invaders 28-24 to win the USFL League Championship. This day, 1995, Ramon Martinez throws a no-hitter, giving the Los Angeles Dodgers a 7-0 victory over the Florida Marlins. This day, 2009, the American League continues its dominance over the National League with a 4-3 win in the All-Star Game. That would make the American League 12-0-1 since 1996. It is the longest unbeaten streak in All-Star game or in All-Star history. This day, 2015, Mike Trout becomes the first player in 38 years to lead off the All-Star game with a home run. The American League beats the National League 6-3 to secure home field advantage in the World Series for the 3rd straight time and the 10th time in 13 years. Trout also becomes the first player to be selected as the game's MVP 2 years in a row. And that is this day in history, Monday, July 14th. Yep. Last time I was having issues with that. I kept saying June. When I was here Friday, it was June. I don't know why in my head it was still June when I was here Friday.
Well, we did the 4th of July thing.
But the whole time.
Fireworks, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You think it's your trip out of the country that maybe fogged your brain a bit?
I guess so, because I left in June.
Yeah.
And I came back. I guess it was still just June for me. I have no idea. I missed the Nathan's hot dog eating contest and everything.
I know. And it was a good one this year, too.
70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. How many hot dogs are you getting down, Randy? 10 minutes. How many hot dogs?
Not as many as the winner choking down, 70 and a half?
70 and a half.
That's crazy. I would be sick as a dog.
10 minutes. Imagine just how stuffed, like how much your stomach would just feel like.
Not so much the hot dogs, but the bread.
Oh yeah,
they dunk it in water, and then it's got to swell.
But you dunk it in water so that way you don't have to chew it as much. You can just kind of like slosh it around and then swallow.
But it's all going down.
For me, it's a texture thing. I just don't know how I would handle that watery, bready, yeasty texture. Is like, blah. That just sounds awful to me just even thinking about it.
I know, it's crazy. I couldn't do it. There's a female hot dog eating contest as well. So
yeah, it's done at the same time. They line up the gals down one side. They line up the guys down the other side, and I had a note on this. Let's see if I can go find it real quick. On
Yeah,
how
matter of fact, the lady
girls
that
did.
won it, she and I shared the same birthday. How about that?
Miko Sudo won this year for the ladies.
Yep.
And it was with 33 hot dogs.
That's a
in
lot.
10 minutes. Do you think you can get 33 hot dogs?
No, I really don't.
In 10
I mean,
minutes.
probably 3, 4, maybe 6 max.
Second place in the women's division, Michelle Lesko with 22 3/4 of a hot dog. That's still a lot of hot dogs in 10 minutes.
A lot of hot dogs. I'm good. Earlier we were talking about Aaron Beard from Instant Replay was talking about the bobblehead, and Lynn Haven Rob texted in saying that it was an ice storm and Freddie Freeman got hung up on the interstate, and I guess that's where Chipper Jones rolled out in the golf cart and got him.
Yeah, I picked him up in the little 4x4 ATV. Vroom, vroom. I mean, it's Atlanta. There's ice storms up there every once in a while. It's not unheard of, but still, it's Atlanta. When there's an ice storm, you know what shuts down?
The interstate.
Atlanta.
Yeah, well, that's true.
The whole city. It's just
they're not
done.
prepared for it. Yeah.
No, it's like when it snowed down here. It shut everything down. You know why? Because it doesn't happen.
Well, it was weird. Speaking of that situation when it snowed here, I was coming back from D.C., and actually my flight into Pensacola was canceled. And then my flight into Panama City was canceled. So my only choice is coming in into Tallahassee and then driving back over, which I did, and then drove from here on to Pensacola. And it was, I can drive in it, and I was driving right along. The problem is other people aren't experienced in driving in
absolutely.
So they would spin out and then block the interstate, and you couldn't get by. And so it took me about 4 hours to make a regular, hour and 50-minute drive. So
I'm not surprised by that one at all.
But it melted within a day or so, and so it was remedied pretty quick. At least it wasn't, to a point where it stayed frozen for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
So-
I had snow on the ground maybe 3 or 4 days afterwards. I was actually kind of surprised it stuck around that long, but I mean, it was in spots that were like under trees, under shade. It wasn't like anything sitting out in the sun, but still, it's Florida. I always said when I'm
you're a little north of town too, so the temperature there, stays a little cooler.
It gets a little bit colder. It's like in the winter, it's a little colder there. In the summer, it's a little bit hotter there because, the ocean keeps you kind of nice and level down here more so than it does a little bit further on the inland side where I am. But I also get, I think, a little bit more rain because of it, and that's not a bad thing for what I do in this world outside of the radio business. So not upset at all, but I enjoyed that snow, and hopefully we can see it again sometime soon. I am sure people are yelling at their radio for me saying that right now, but
listen, if you want more snow, they got plenty of it up north. You just take a trip up there and get all the snow you want, and then come on back down here and live in, Yeah,
that's my plan. I got a cousin that lives in Denver, so when I need to see the mountains, when I need to see the snow, I'll just fly out to Denver. No problem.
Or he'll take some pictures for you. Yeah. That's a little bit easier.
You might be able to stuff
video.
Put it in one of those styrofoam coolers and mail it to me. That way I can dump it outside and say, look, snow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, all right.
Then you don't inconvenience the rest of us.
Yeah, we'll get on working. I'll get to work on that. Don't worry about that one, guys.
Absolutely.
So that way we don't have to worry about the snow anymore. Other news throughout the day, since we have got a minute. Let's see. What do I like here? Cooper Flagg, the first-round draft pick by the Mavs, has been shut down for the rest of the Summer League by the Mavericks. Wasn't exactly playing the hottest going into these games, but he didn't say anything about an injury.
Okay.
Just said that they're going to pull him back. I do believe in the first game that he was in, he went 5 of 15, and then in the next game that he was in, he did a 10 of 21. So I think they're going to just pull him back, give him some practices, get him used to the NBA game, because like any of the other sports, once you go from college to that next level, it's a different game. Those guys are so much bigger, so much faster. The biggest, fastest guy you played in college is everybody on that court.
Exactly.
So it is changed. So I'm not worried about him. It doesn't look like he is injured, so it doesn't look like he is going to miss any kind of game times at all. Just, I think, more of a precaution. One more for you. Louisiana Tech will be leaving Conference USA, and it will be going back into the Sun Belt. No date is yet set. The earliest date in which this can happen would be next year at 2026. So, Conference USA.
Any reason why they're going from the Conference USA to Sunbelt?
Sunbelt lost Texas State, or is losing Texas State to the Pac, whatever number it is now.
Yeah.
So I think that was mostly just the Sunbelt trying to pick up and maintain the same amount of numbers that it had.
Oh, great. Guys.
So I think that's more of a Sunbelt move, really, than Louisiana Tech. But Louisiana Tech said, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're moving.
Sunbelt's a good little conference.
All right, guys. Great show on this Monday. The Inside Drive, live from the Golf Plus studios. James Fife was your host. Randy Williams back there running the board. Enjoy your Monday, everybody. Keep your stick on the ice.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.